What's up YouTube, and welcome back to another Procreate tutorial where today we're going to quickly create the Olympic rings with this paper cutout design. Now I've actually included a free brush from my paper collection of brushes, which you can find a full link to in the description down below. But again, it's completely free. All of the requirements are free today. They're all available on my Patreon, which you can find a link to in the description down below. So enjoy today's tutorial and let's get started. So once you've created your canvas, we're going to go ahead and create our Olympic logo. So let's go to our brush. We're going to go to calligraphy and the monoline brush. We're going to make sure the size is up to the maximum on the left hand side, and we're going to go to our colors, and we can start off with the middle tone, the dark tone here, so the middle of the 5 colors. And we're going to go ahead and just draw in a circle. Hold your pen at the top and then pop one finger on the screen at the same time, and it will make sure it's a nice perfect circle. And you want to sort of scale it up to around about sort of this size. Don't forget, we can always fix it later. We can always make it larger. Now the other thing we want to do is we want to tap on our cursor. We want to make sure snapping is turned on in the bottom left, which means that we can drag this towards the middle of our canvas, and that shows that we have the orange line, which lets us know we are smack bang in the middle of our canvas. Don't worry about the height position for now. We'll tap on our cursor when we're done. We're then going to go to our layer. We're going to swipe it to the left and duplicate it. We'll go to our colors. We're going to go ahead and grab this tone here, the second color, and we're going to drag it into the shape of the circle. We're then going to grab our cursor. We're going to move it down towards the bottom left of that circle. Now, the one thing you want to look for is this edge here. So I dragged it to the middle here, which lets me know that that edge is in the center of our canvas, but we don't want to be smack bang on it. So we just need to move it ever so slightly off. We also want to make sure if we drag it slightly up that we hit that blue line there that goes through the middle of the middle part of the Olympic ring. So then that way, that top there runs straight through the middle, and then this is slightly off to the left hand side. We can always tweak it afterwards. So we'll tap on our cursor, we'll go to our layers, we'll swipe the yellow one to the left and duplicate it. We'll go to our colors, we'll grab the green, we'll drag it into the yellow. We'll then grab our cursor. Again, making sure you got snapping turned on, you should be able to drag across. You get 3 blue lines now, which lets you know that you have moved perfectly horizontal to the other shape. And then once we hit the orange line again, just move it again a tiny bit off to the right hand side, and you should be all good to go. You can tap on your cursor when you're done. You can then go to your green ring here, swipe it to the left and duplicate it. Go to your colors and grab the red, drag it into the green ring, grab your cursor, move that up. So it sits then again, you want the blue lines at the top, which lets you know you're parallel to the black ring there. And we want to make sure that this one moves all the way across and sort of past the center point. So this blue line there that you saw is the center point of the green ring. Again, if I move it slightly off to the right, I should now be positioned correctly. And I can tap on my cursor when I'm done. Again, we'll go to our layer, we'll swipe it to the left, we'll duplicate it. We'll go to our colors and we'll grab the blue one in the top left of the palette, and we'll drag the blue into the ring. Grab your cursor, swing that all the way over to the other side. Again, you want those blue parallel lines. So again, we're looking for this blue line here through the ring there of the yellow one, and then slightly off to the left hand side again. And then tap on your cursor when you're done. You've got your Olympic logo, but of course we want to make certain cutouts here just to sit each ring in the correct position because they loop together. So what we want to go ahead and do is we want to zoom in on the blue one. That's what we were last working on. We're going to go ahead and grab our eraser and tap on our eraser and make sure it's just set to the monoline brush. And then we have the brush size set to about 25%. The first cutaway we're going to make is through here. We're going to get rid of this area here, putting the yellow in front. And all I want you to do is just follow the curve of the yellow one and then get rid of this bit and then draw another line. So you're drawing up against the edge there of the yellow one and then erasing it. Now, to see your brush cursor, just go up to your actions and go to preferences and turn on brush cursor, and then you'll see your little circle around the edge of your brush just to help you line things up. Don't worry too much about it as well, because when you zoom all the way out, it will look fairly crisp and tidy. So that's that cutaway done. Let's go ahead and move then into the yellow ring. So we're going to go from left to right. We've got the yellow one here. We're going to go ahead and put the blue in front, but we're going to make sure it's got a cutaway. So we're just going to go ahead and just follow the curvature of the blue ring there, just leaving a nice little border there so they've all got a nice little gap. Now the yellow one crosses over the black here, and then it dips underneath the black. So we're going to rotate, we're going to zoom in, and we're going to go ahead and draw those 2 lines again. So you draw in right along the edge of the black ring and then get rid of the bit in between. There we go. Let's move then to the black ring. So again, we're going from left to right. Now the black ring, again, it wants to sit in behind the yellow here. So we're going to go ahead and give it that nice border effect. So we're just drawing in the gap like so. Lovely. And then if we take a look, it should then go over the top of the yellow, which it does. It then sits in behind the green. So we need to go ahead and make sure that we draw in the border here along there. And then we can go ahead and move up towards here, because then we can move towards the green ring. So we're going to go ahead and go to our layers. We'll go to the green ring now. And we're going to give the black ring there a little bit of a gap. So we're just going to draw those border lines in and then erase from here. We're going to take a look over here. Now we want the green to go in front of the red, which we'll fix in a moment, but then the green dips in behind the red. So we want to go to this part here and we want to draw in the gap like so. So you can try and do it first time, it'll be great. And then let's try and do that one there too. And let's switch to the final ring, which is the red one. The red sits in behind the green here. So we're going to go ahead and draw in the border lines and then erase the gap in between. Then it will sit in front of the green, which it does. And so we have our Olympic logo. We can then go ahead and go to our layers. We can pinch all 5 of those layers together onto one layer. We can then zoom out of our canvas just a little bit, because then we're going to grab our cursor. We're going to go ahead and use the snapping again to drag it into the middle of your canvas. And now you'll get 2 orange lines, both horizontally and vertically there. That lets you know you're smack bang in the center of your canvas. Now, if you want to, you could scale this up at this point as well, really fill out the entirety of the canvas and tap on your cursor when you're done. Let's then add some 3D effects to this. So let's go ahead and create a new layer. We're going to tap on the rings and tap on it and use the option of select. So we want to select the shape of the rings. It's really important that color fill is grayed out down here so it looks like this. Then invert your selection. So we want to select everything but the rings. We're going to go then to our colors. We're going to grab either one of these 2 colors at the bottom here. You can pick and choose. There's a slightly darker version. So I'm going to go for that one, the second color on that bottom row. We're going to go back to the layer. We're going to go up to the empty one we created and we're going to tap on it and we're going to use the option of fill. And because we've got the selection in place, it fills everything but the rings. You can see there's a bit of a cutout in your thumbnail. That's really helpful, because then what we're going to do is we're going to swipe that layer to the left and duplicate it. The bottom one out of the 2, tap on it and alpha lock it. Go to your colors, double tap at the bottom of the disk to select black. Go back to the layer, tap on it now and fill it. And then tap on it and turn off the alpha lock. So you locked it so that you couldn't spill out into the rings. You filled it and then you turned off the lock. Because then we're going to go ahead and go to our cursor. We're going to drag down in a bottom right fashion so we get the shadow appear on the inside of our little rings there. And then we can tap on our cursor when we're done. Let's blur them. So let's go to our adjustments. Let's go to Gaussian blur and swipe from left to right until we get a nice soft shadow. This will give you a really nice 3D effect. So I've gone up to about 6%. And then it's up to you. You can go to the layer, you can tap on it and change it to the blend mode of multiply and bring the opacity right down to something fairly subtle. It's up to you how harsh you want to go with this. You can bring it down to say 40% and you get a nice subtle shadow on the inside there. Now we're going to use this same shape again, this one here at the very top, the sort of beige tone. We're going to swipe it to the left and duplicate it again. Again, the bottom one out the 2, just tap on it, alpha lock it, go to your colors, double tap in the top left to select white, go back to the layer, tap on it and fill it. And it's not important to turn off the alpha lock, you don't need to on this occasion. The only thing you need to do is grab your cursor. If you zoom out slightly and you move it up towards the top left, now in the opposite direction to your shadows, you should end up with a crisp line. Now it might be easier to go up to the top left and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because once you do that, every time you tap, you're nudging the layer up in towards that direction 1 pixel at a time. Now if I tap on my cursor and we zoom in now, you can see there's this lovely crisp line that runs around the edge here that goes against the edge of the shadows. And now you should have a bit more of a 3D effect. Now you can sort of balance that out. You may want to zoom out and go to 3 or even 4 pixels. Tap on my cursor when I'm done. So I did 4 in total. And the final step is to add in some paper texture on the very top. And I've actually gone ahead and given you one of my brushes from my paper canvas textures pack. We're going to use the paper texture 4, but you get all of these other paper brushes in the actual pack. I'll leave a link to it in the description down below if you're interested. But you will have this brush here, the paper texture 4. It will be right at the very bottom for you under imported because it's a singular brush. And then if we go ahead and go to our colors, we double tap at the bottom of the disk to select black. We go to our layers and we'll go right to the top and we create a new layer and we tap on it and we clip it to the layer here that's nice and beige. If we then set the brush size to 100%, if we go across the screen all the way around in a circular motion, you can go over it a couple of times if you really want to emphasize the paper, and pinch your two fingers, go full screen with 4, and you end up with today's finished design. So I hope you enjoyed today's Olympic ring paper cutout design. As always, make sure to tag me in your finished creations wherever you decide to share them. And if you didn't know, I post weekly tutorials here on my YouTube channel, so make sure to subscribe for more Procreate content. But if you want even more tutorials from me, you can come and join me over on Patreon, where I post 3 exclusive tutorials every single month to my Patreon supporters. The catalogue is well over 100 at the time of recording. You can have your name featured in videos, sneak peeks, early access, and much, much more. So hit the link in the description down below. And if you like this video here on YouTube, you'll love this one on the screen now. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.